Hey everyone, Chris here with an exciting video. So today I have a new product to unbox for you all. This is going to be the ZUK Z2 Plus, or Lenovo Z2 Plus. So basically ZUK is a sub-brand of Lenovo, similar to OnePlus being to Oppo, Honor to Huawei, that sort of thing. I purchased this on Banggood.com. This is going to be a Chinese smartphone. You can also pick it up at GearBest, Geek Buying, Everbuying, things like that. You get a plain white box. First, let me preface this. It took about 20 days to get here from China. I didn't have to pay any custom import fees or anything like that. On the packaging, they quoted that this is an MP4 player and the value of $21. Now, that's the first thing. This is going to be a phone that you can pick up usually for $200 or less. I picked up for $160 US. So we're going to go ahead and get this unboxed. I'm going to go ahead and go through some of the specs as well. This has the Snapdragon 820 processor, so flagship processor, 4 gigs of RAM, has 64 gigs of internal storage, 13 megapixel camera, also does have a 3500 milliamp hour battery, 5-inch display, 1920 by 1080. So all flagship specs for a very budget price. We get just a little card for, I guess, their VIP account. I'm not sure what that's about. Again, it's all in Chinese, so I'm not going to be able to read any of this. We got just some SIM tray, or SIM ejector tool. We got some pamphlets, warranty guides, I guess. Not going to really need any of this. We got a USB-C cable that's in white, so that's cool, and then just your regular charging brick. You're not going to really be able to use this charging brick just because it's different power standard than in China compared to the US, so I would just recommend using your own charging brick. Get these cards back in place and move that aside. Let's get to the device. So we got on the back, let me go ahead and just pull this off real quick. Put that in the box. Alright, so on the back we have a glass surface. ZUK branding down here. Here is our 13 megapixel camera and a single LED flash and a mic. Right, on the sides we have our volume up and down, our power, and our dual SIM tray. On the bottom we have a single button, which we'll get into in a little bit later in the software. And on the top, the sides, nothing, they're completely blank. On the bottom we have the mic, headphone jack, USB-C cable or port, and your speaker. Your 5-inch 1080p display. And then up here we also have, an 8 megapixel camera. You have your sensors as far as your ambient light sensor, your speaker grill, and then there's also a notification light up here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this in the light, but you can see there's only part of it. I actually like how they did that. Like half of it is the speaker and half of it is where all the sensors lay. That's kind of a neat little touch. It kind of doesn't add an additional black circle there. So this is an actual button, clicky. It's also capacitive. This looks like it came with a pre-installed matte screen protector. This does not have Gorilla Glass or anything like that on the front or back, so it is going to scratch up, so I would recommend putting a case on it, which I purchased one. I'll be doing another video for that as well. Reason why I purchased this was the fact that it supports LTE here in the US. It is just missing band 12 for T-Mobile, but other than that, it will work just fine in the US on GSM networks, carriers that is. The weight of it is actually pretty dense, about 150 grams or so. for a 5-inch display screen, and compared to a Nextbit Robin with a 5.2-inch screen, much more compact, as you can see. Alright, so looks like we got tons of Chinese here. Go ahead and click on that. We'll skip this. We need to get this into English first before anything else. Okay, come on, skip. Let's skip the fingerprint scanner for now. Alright, well, that's a pretty simple, easy setup. So as of this video, this phone actually has Android Nougat on it. So this is going to be the stock OS that comes from China on this phone. Let's go ahead and get into English here. Alright, perfect. That's much better. Alright, so this is ZUI running Android 7.0. Let's go ahead and just check that out real quick. About phone. ZUK Z2, Qualcomm 820 there, 64 gigs of internal storage, Android 7.0, December 1 security patch. That's fantastic. Onto the OS itself. We have kind of like a very MIUI type design, which is normal for China, kind of a very Apple-like look. Notification, you just have notifications and the time. You do have to swipe up to get to your toggles and your brightness slider. And within these toggles you can swipe over like that. Let's go into the settings. Alright, so this button is very special. This is kind of one of the key points to this phone itself. So it's what they call UTouch. And within UTouch, you are able to program it to do different things. So right now you have the press home by default to go home. And then that's you can't change, unfortunately. And then just a single tap, like a capacitive button, you go back. So instead of a normal Android where you have your back and then recents key, everything is all in here. Now you can in software enable the software keys, but I figure, well, I'll try and get used to it and see how it works, see if I like it. It's definitely going to get some getting used to. Let's go into the settings here. So press home twice. So this is kind of like Samsung in the sense where if you double press the home button, you can like launch their camera. Double press will bring up your recents menu, which is going to be similar to iOS, where you have your recent apps in a long list horizontally. You can double press to sleep. Let's go ahead and make double press the camera. That's fine. So it's a single tap to go back. Alright, you can swipe left and right on it to open, to go between your apps. Function, unknown numbers, sure, whatever. We'll open a couple apps here. And we'll go back into settings. Okay, so slide left or right. Let's see what this is. Okay, so what we can do here is actually, if we swipe, we can swipe between apps. That's kind of cool, actually. Though I could see it getting confusing, you forgetting which app was before, maybe. But that's pretty cool, actually. You add additional functionality in a single button. That's a really neat, nice touch. So we can long touch on this to, let's say, open the recents key. So if we just place our finger on it, here's our recents, and then single tap to go back. long press lets put it to sleep. So if we press and hold on the button, it'll turn the screen off. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Awesome. So settings menu is going to be much different than your stock Android, more in the sense of MIUI, if you will. Let's go ahead and let's look at this camera. Open location. No, we don't want. Okay, so here is the camera. So we got HDR. Let's set that up to auto. And then we have this interesting little wheel for different modes. We have slow-mo, we have time-lapse, panorama, and flash on and off, and then the scale being 4:3 or a 1:1 ratio. Huh, interesting. So 16:9, 4:3. So if we take a quick shot, so it takes shots pretty quickly. I'll definitely have to do a full camera review on this. So go ahead and subscribe if you want to get notified of when I release the full video review on this ZUK Z2. This has no Google Play services, so you're going to have to install that manually. I will do another video on how to flash back to the stock firmware. So I will make mention that when I first purchased this, it came from Banggood, like I said, banggood.com. It came with a modified international ROM. It's not unlocked. It didn't come pre-rooted. So the issue with that is, since it is a modified ROM, that if you take an OTA or try to do an update, it's going to brick your device. So I'm going to do a video in the next coming week or so on how to do that firmware to flash to a stock ZUI. That way you can get OTAs just fine. And then I'll also do another video on how to unlock the bootloader and check out some ROMs for this. That's another thing I'm excited for. So if you guys have any questions, if you want to see anything regarding this, you got your camera. Everything loads pretty quickly because of that 820, so that's nice to see. Like I said, I'll definitely go into more in depth in my full review. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and like the video if you did. And I really appreciate you guys for checking out. Take care.